Your morning news now. The New York Attorney General's investigation into the Trump Organization is now a criminal case and is being jointly investigated by the Manhattan District Attorney. The DA's wide-sweeping probe into the Trump Organization has looked into whether the company misled lenders and insurance companies about the value of properties and whether it paid the appropriate taxes. The office is examining millions of pages of documents that include Trump's tax returns. The former president has previously called the investigation politically motivated. Andrew Giuliani, son of Rudy Giuliani, has announced his candidacy for governor of New York in 2022. The 35-year-old worked under President Trump in the White House's Office of Public Liaison. He has never been elected to public office and will likely face an uphill battle in the Democratic state. Giuliani's father has been under investigation for his activities in Ukraine, but has not been charged and denies wrongdoing. The younger Giuliani called it a political investigation that won't affect his campaign.
This is a human rights issue that needs to be solved as soon as possible.
Protesters from Washington, D.C. to Los Angeles are calling on Israel to end strikes on Gaza amid the back-and-forth exchange with Hamas militants. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has rejected all calls for a ceasefire, saying military operations would continue to restore calm. So far, around 50,000 Palestinians have fled their homes, and 200 have been killed since the violence began earlier this month. At least a dozen have been killed by rockets in Israel, including a strike against a farm just over the Gaza border that killed 2 and wounded 7.
You're headed out the door this morning. Cloudy skies are the story. 66 degrees in La Crosse right now. Overall, pretty warm all across the board. Most of us in the lower to mid 60s right now. Throughout the day, though, we're going to start to see those temperatures increase. Our high today, 77, and we could see some scattered thunderstorms later this evening.
When you employ a car in a manner that puts officers' lives in danger, that is a threat.
The North Carolina sheriff's deputies who fatally shot Andrew Brown Jr. last month will not face criminal charges. The district attorney says the officers' actions were justified because they were confronting a suspect who had access to a potentially deadly weapon, his car. Brown was killed outside his home by deputies serving warrants on felony drug charges, but his family is calling on the Justice Department to review the case. The House of Representatives has approved legislation to combat anti-Asian violence that has increased since the start of the pandemic. The COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act passed by a vote of 364 to 62. The bill calls for creating a new Justice Department position that would speed up the review of possible COVID-19 based hate crimes and incidents. Now that the bill has passed the House and Senate, it is cleared for Biden's signature. Republican leaders in Wisconsin want to get rid of several federal pandemic unemployment assistance programs. They say the government should not be competing with business owners for workers. Besides pulling the state out of 4 different assistance programs, the bill would also ban the state's Department of Workforce Development from waiving work search requirements for unemployment benefits for any reason that is related to COVID-19. Viterbo University is looking for a new leader. The university announced current president Glenna Temple will resign June 25th to become the president at Dominican University near Chicago. Temple started with Viterbo in 2001 before becoming the university's president in 2017. Rick Tritley, executive vice president for student success at Viterbo, will serve as interim president. The Viterbo Board of Trustees will meet in the fall to review next steps for naming a permanent president. Kicking off this morning at 10, the Friends of the Onalaska Library will be holding a spring book sale. Rain or shine, books of all types will be available. Cash or check will be accepted, and masks will be required. The one-day sale will take place outside of the Onalaska Public Library until 6 this evening.
Temperatures this morning starting off relatively warm. We're just going to continue to warm throughout the day. We will see some scattered thunderstorms later this afternoon between about 2 to 5 o'clock. We'll reach our high around that time, 77 degrees, and we'll continue to cool down into tonight. We'll see that chance of rain and scattered thunderstorms throughout the rest of the week into the weekend and to start the week off next week. But Wednesday and Thursday of next week, mild and 74 degrees overall. There is a light at the end of the tunnel.
We want to thank you for sharing your morning with us. We're going to send you now to CBS This Morning. That comes up after the break, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.